Hello everybody, thanks for tuning back into the Ophidian Audio YouTube channel. If you noticed yesterday I made a little presentation of this tiny little box that we've just received. And when I opened up that tiny little box there was this tiny whiny little pair of loudspeakers inside them. A pair of loudspeakers that looked like they'd just been sent from Alice in Wonderland. Before we go any further though, I'd like you just to imagine or to put yourself in the scenario where you don't really know much about hi-fi, you don't know nothing at all about what makes a good pair of loudspeakers and what makes a bad pair of loudspeakers. All you know is that you've got £500 to £600 in your pocket that's burning a hole in. You really want to go out and spend that money and get a really good pair of loudspeakers. So you wander into the shop and you see two pairs of loudspeakers. You've got a big massive pair of floor standers to your left. Then you look over to your right and there's these tiny whiny little pair of loudspeakers. You look at the price of them, they're both around £500, £600, and you become a little bit confused. You wonder to yourself, how on earth can that tiny little loudspeaker sound any good? That's not going to have any bass. I'm not going to impress my mates with that. Look at the size of it, it's tiny. £600 for that? You must be joking. You look at that pair of floor standers with those massive 12-inch drivers in them, 3 or 4 12-inch drivers in this big floor standing loudspeaker. That's the speaker for you, you think. Look at that. That really is going to impress my mates with all those bass drivers in it. But do you think you really would be making the wise decision? Just because a pair of loudspeakers are small, does it mean they're not going to be any good? Maybe it's a name. You look at the name on it, Ophidian Audio. You might be wondering who they are. It's a name that you've never heard of before. Whatever you do in life, whatever subject you choose to do as a job, it's always difficult in the first few years because really you need two things. And the first thing you do need is money. And in this industry, you probably need a lot of it. And the second thing you need is patience, because it takes time. Everything, whatever business you do, unless you're really, really fortunate, but for most people, in most businesses, it takes time and you need to be extremely patient and not give up. You need to have a lot of endurance about you because people like to buy products that they've known about for years and years, names that are familiar. When they see a new name, they're hesitant about buying it because they don't know who you are. They haven't seen reviews of your products. Now here in the UK, for example, we have a very popular magazine called What Hi-Fi, which likes to give out 5 stars and yearly it has an awards ceremony. Now people look at that magazine and they see the 5 stars and they will go out and buy that brand because What Hi-Fi have said it's a 5-star product. They don't need to listen to it. They just take that word as written in stone. So they go out and buy a pair of loudspeakers that's just won the product of the year review, or it's got a 5-star review because What Hi-Fi said it's the best pair of loudspeakers you can buy. So for a new company that hasn't got any reviews, it's very, very difficult for people to go out and buy their stuff because they haven't got no reviews and they haven't been around for a long time. So you need to find other methods to get your product out there. You need to go to shows where people can come and listen to your product, or by word of mouth. Now Ophidian Audio now have been going for a few years and I was one of the first dealers to take on the brand because I like to sell something that's a little bit different. I don't like to sell what everybody else in the whole wide world is selling. I like to take a chance on a risk on the brand that's not well known, and I'm pleased I did when it comes to Ophidian Audio because to me the loudspeakers are as good as anything out there. They really are quite special. Fantastic to listen to. I absolutely love listening to them. It's one of those products when, as soon as I heard it, I really did enjoy the sound of them. The little system that I've got prepared for you this morning that I'm going to play everything through is once again the beautiful little X-Tone box, the Silver 6011. This is a hybrid amplifier. It has valves and it also, the power section is in Class D. This is, as I say, from X-Tone box. This is a Spanish company who are based in Galicia, which is in the sort of top of Spain, the northeast side of Spain. It has a climate that's very similar to here, what we're used to in the UK, completely different to what it was in the south of Spain where I used to live, where it was always hot. In the north of Spain, it's rainy like it is here in the UK. We do get a lot of rain here, but there is a good side to the rain because it makes everything so lush and green. You really cannot beat living in the countryside. Me, I'm a real country bumpkin. I love being outside in nature. I love waking up in the morning, listening to the birds singing, walking out there in that beautiful countryside with those beautiful trees and those beautiful green fields. You are surrounded by gorgeous countryside in Somerset. Really, Somerset is a top-notch place to live. It really is beautiful. You're close to Devon, Dorset, Cornwall. You've got Somerset itself. It's absolutely the best of British countryside. Absolutely love it here in Somerset. But I'm digressing a little bit here, aren't I? Let's get back to the system. The rest of the system I've got connected up for you this morning. Once again, the new Orm products, the X5S and the X8 Magic DAC. And it really is a Magic DAC for £300, well under £300 in fact. It really is an absolute beauty to listen to. People that say you can't get high-end sound for £300, I'm telling you, you can. It's an absolute killer of a DAC. Beautiful. The speaker cables I've got connected up to the Ophidian Audio are once again DH Lab. Why DH Lab? Because they offer exceptional value for money in my eyes. The prices are sensible. The quality is brilliant. Brilliant cables. That's it. That's what I've got for you this morning. Now we're going to chill out and listen to some music. Does that sound like a good idea? I think it does. Let's listen to two great tunes. One is some dub music from Black Uhuru, a reggae band, and the other piece of music that I'm going to be playing for you is from The Beat, who were a two-tone band from the 1980s, who were still going, should I say, as unfortunately Rankin Roger recently died, which was sad news indeed. So we've got two tracks, one from Black Uhuru and the other from The Beat. For me personally, I think Ophidian Audio will reap the rewards because honestly they are as good, if not better, than anything out there. All those big names that you're very, very familiar with, Ophidian Audio loudspeakers compete with them. Absolutely, they compete with them sonically. They really are that good. Minimos, they're, as I say, they're tiny little speakers, but they are perfect for small rooms. Today, here in England, people seem to be getting bigger and bigger, and the houses seem to be getting smaller and smaller. So the amount of space that we've got in our homes is quite reduced to what it was maybe 40, 50 years ago when they used to build rooms and houses a lot larger. Today the houses we get tend to sort of be rabbit hutches. So we haven't got much space, so we need a little pair of loudspeakers that we can put into these little rooms. And the Minimos are the perfect pair of loudspeakers. They work absolutely fantastically in rooms that are 8, 9, 10, 11 square meters. So if you've got a room that's just, I don't know, 3 meters by 2 meters or 4 meters by 3 meters or whatever, these are the perfect pair of loudspeakers to put in that room because they don't produce boomy bass. The bass they do produce is still deep, rich, powerful, but it won't boom in that room. Now that is one of the problems of having small rooms, controlling that bass. With the Ophidians, with the Minimos, you're not really going to face that problem due to the size of them. Also, to me, the sound of these doesn't represent the size of them. For example, thinking of a TV program that's very famous here in England, and it's called Doctor Who. And in that program, you will see a machine that he travels around in, or her now, these days, the latest Doctor's a woman. But you will notice that Doctor Who travels around in a thing called a TARDIS, which is a police box. It's a small little police box. On the outside, it looks really small. But once you open up the doors, inside it's absolutely massive. It's a huge amount of space inside. So it doesn't relate to what you see on the outside. You see this small little blue telephone police box, which is the TARDIS. But once you open up the doors, it's absolutely ginormous inside. And that, to me, summarizes perfectly the Ophidian Minimos. When you just look at them, they look absolutely tiny. But when you turn them on, power it all up and start listening to music through them, you can not work out, you can't work out where that big massive sound is coming from because the sound stage that these produce really is large. The width, the depth, the height, the music that comes from them really does sound absolutely huge. It really is great listening to these because it doesn't correlate between what you see and what you hear. While we're talking about TV programs, there was another TV program I'm sure we're all very well aware of, and that is Star Trek. Now on Star Trek there was a character called Scotty, and he was the engineer of the Enterprise, and he would say to Jim, "You can't defy the laws of physics, Jim." But he was wrong when it comes to the Ophidian Minimo because Gareth James, the owner of Ophidian Audio, has defied the laws of physics with these loudspeakers. How does such a small driver, such a small cabinet, manage to sound so deep in the bass region? It really has defied the laws of physics, the sound of these loudspeakers. As I say, it doesn't correlate to when you look at them, when you visually look at them, and then what your ears hear. It just doesn't relate at all. So you can defy the laws of physics. The Minimos do defy the laws of physics. They really are quite a remarkable listen. At the end, if you'd like to leave your comments, any comments you feel you would like to ask, or any questions you have about the Ophidian Audio, I would be absolutely delighted to help you with any questions or queries you may have. So feel free, leave your comments in the bottom there. Thanks for joining everyone. Take care. Have a great day.